Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Fred van Leeuwen, I'm the image engineer, and today I want to show you how to do a basic video edit in DaVinci Resolve 16. Let's get started. DaVinci Resolve is a complete video editor, or NLE, which stands for Non-Linear Video Editor, with a full set of tools for any editors of any level. This means you can build your video, whether it's for YouTube or a feature film, right here in Resolve. In Resolve 16 you can apply basic editing, add text, record and edit audio, add visual effects and transitions. For this tutorial, I'll be using the studio version available off the DaVinci Resolve website. However, if you'd like to test out Resolve, there's a fully featured free version available as well. And in case you're wondering, the basic features of Resolve stay the same in between the two versions. Once you open up DaVinci Resolve, you're met with a project manager page. This is where all your existing projects are stored. By default, these projects are stored within a single database called Local Database. You can create your own database by going to New Database, select Connect, write a name for your new database, choose a location for it, and click Add. Let's start up a new project by clicking on Untitled Project or by clicking on the New Project button in the bottom of this dialog page. Once you've created your new project, the main interface will load up. At the bottom, you'll see the workspaces are divided up into 7 groups. These groups are called the Media, Cut, Edit, Fusion, Color, Fairlight, and Delivery pages. Inside the Media workspace, you'll be able to import, browse, and manage your media files. The Cut page is a new workspace within Resolve 16, allowing you to cut and trim your media with pinpoint accuracy. Edit is your main editing workspace, where you'll be lining up your clips, doing further cuts, add transitions and audio tracks. This is where you'll spend most of your time refining your project. You'll be doing advanced work on the Fusion page, such as adding visual effects using nodes. The Color page gives you access to grading your footage and works similarly to Adobe Photoshop, where you'll be using nodes to add extra layers to your color grade. The Audio page, known as Fairlight, allows you to tweak further or enhance your audio, record voiceovers, and mix your sound. Delivery is where you export your project into a video format you wish to use, whether it be for final delivery to a client, to a studio, or to your YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we'll be covering the Media, Edit, Color, and Deliver pages. Let's start by heading over to our Media page and import our footage. I've got a few clips here that I'd like to import into our video. So I'll go ahead and drag these clips from their folder into the Media pool. I'll now be able to access them at any time by going into my Media pool. Now let's head on over to our Edit page so that we can start adding media into our timeline. Once we drag our clips into the timeline, we can see that video clips stay on the top half of the timeline, while any audio is shown on the bottom half. Always save frequently. DaVinci Resolve 16 shows an edited text next to your project name when you haven't saved any new changes. To save, press Command or Control S to save your project. To check the timeline clips, you can zoom in or out by holding the Alt key while scrolling up or down with your mouse wheel. You can also alter the way clips are displayed on the timeline by clicking Timeline View Options and click on the options to expand the video clip thumbnails or make the clips smaller on the timeline. You can press space or the play button to play the entire video in real time. A preview of the video will be viewed on the main monitor in the top half of the page. The video's current time will be shown by the red marker on the timeline. which you can click and drag to view certain parts of the video. To edit your video, click on the selection icon and click and drag on a clip to move it to a specific part of the timeline. If you wish to move the clip to a different track, you can either move it up and a new track will be created automatically, or move it down to a track below. Make sure not to move your clip over other clips as it will override them in the timeline. The track's order plays an essential role in the timeline, as higher clips overlapping lower clips will be shown first. If your video includes audio, it will be moved together when moving a video clip in the timeline. These two clips are linked together as displayed by the chain icon on each clip. To unlink and move them individually, right-click on either clip and select Link Clips. To stretchen or shorten clips, hover your mouse over the edge of the clip until it displays this icon. Then click and drag the clip to the duration you desire. You can also speed up clips by right-clicking on the clip and choose Change Clip Speed. You can change the percentage of the speed above 100% to speed up the clip. Or below 100% to slow it down. You can also play the clip in reverse by selecting Reverse Speed. To duplicate a clip on the timeline, hold down the Alt key while clicking and dragging it. You can delete a clip by selecting it and pressing backspace. If you've mistakenly deleted a clip, press Command or Ctrl Z to undo the action. If you wish to split a clip in two, press the Blade Edit Mode button or B to enable it. Hover your mouse over a clip and click on the specific duration at which you wish to trim, and it'll split the clip in two at that specific time. On the track options, you'll see specific options for that track. Clicking on the lock button will lock the track and its clips in place, and it will not allow any editing on that track until the clip is unlocked. Clicking on the frame button on a video track will either hide or show the videos contained on that track. On audio tracks, clicking on the mute button will mute it, while pressing the solo button will only play that track's audio while muting all the other tracks. To delete a track and all the content of that track, right-click and select Delete Track. To edit the basic properties of the clips in your timeline, select the clip you want to edit and choose any of the edit options from this drop-down menu. To transform your clip, click on Transform, click and drag to move the clip, or click on any of the white nodes to rescale the clip. Click on the central node to rotate the clip. Use the crop tool to crop the selected clip. Use a dynamic zoom to add an animated zoom effect to the selected clip. The green square indicates the start position of the clip, while the red square will indicate the end position of the clip. You can also add annotations on the selected clips and use it to draw or sketch over the footage. To adjust the properties of a selected clip in more detail, click on the Inspector page to open up a detailed menu consisting of the clip's zoom, position, rotation, and other properties related to the clip. This menu will change depending on the type of clip you select. It will display all the video properties of a selected video clip or the audio properties for a selected audio clip. If you don't see any of the values listed, make sure to double-click on each option to extend its properties. When selecting video clips, you can adjust the opacity of the clip to make it more transparent, and the composite mode to change the transparency based on the color in that clip. You can change the clip's basic appearance by clicking on the zoom level to adjust the size, the position of the clip to change the placement, and the rotational angle of the clip to adjust the inclination. You can also adjust the anchor point of the inclination by changing these settings. Use pitch and yaw to rotate the clip in a 3D space, or flip to flip the clip horizontally or vertically. With cropping, you can crop the clip on the left, right, top, or bottom. And you can feather the edges by dragging the softness slider. When selecting audio clips, you can adjust the volume by dragging the audio volume for the selected clip. While the clip pan option balances the volume for the left and right channels. Use the clip pitch option to change the audio tone and the clip equalizer to apply audio filters. The effects I've mentioned above can be turned on or off by clicking on the orange button next to each effect. When applying corrections to a clip, the values will be shown on the envelope graph on an altered clip. Click on the envelope options to fine-tune or keyframe these corrections. At first, the line will appear constant in time, but once we add a keyframe, we can alter that effect over time. This is called keyframing, and we can use this to adjust an effect's strength on a clip over time. You can move each keyframe horizontally to change its position, or vertically to change its value. You can also select the keyframe and select the options above it to shape the curve. Use Command or Control X to remove a selected keyframe. If you wish to remove all the keyframes and return the property of the effect to its default, head back to the Inspected tab and press the Revert button next to the effect you wish to change back to default. The Effects library shows the collection of effects, transitions, and text templates you can use in your project. To use an effect, drag and drop a desired effect onto your clip in the timeline. The effect will automatically be applied to the selected clip. To change the properties of the effect, select the clip you've applied the effect to and click on Open Effects to see a list of effect properties. To remove an effect, simply click on the bin icon next to the effect, or to change its order, click on the up or down arrows next to the bin. Basic transitions can also be added by dragging the white markers at the beginning or end of each clip to add a fade in or out transition. You can add basic text to your video by clicking and dragging on a desired text preset and dragging it into the timeline. The text is self-contained in a video clip and can be edited in the inspector window. Over on the color page, you have the ability to color grade your footage and use nodes, which works similarly to Photoshop's layers in order to create complex corrections to a clip. Your color wheel gives you the options to change the color and brightness of the shadows, midtones, and highlights. You can offset the balance by changing the color on the offset wheel. You can add contrast by using the curves tool, and add a separate node or layer to add a new color grade that will overlap the one you just made. This is handy if you want to apply a preset color to your footage. And if you want a free preset, you can head on over to my website and download a free preset right now. The link is in the description below. The Fairlight window gives you the option to fine-tune and edit any audio clips in the timeline. You can also add effects to any tracks. And record voiceovers for your video, like the voiceover I'm doing right now. The delivery page allows you to export your finished video into a self-contained video file. Select a part of the project you wish to export by clicking and dragging the white marker at the top of the timeline, then select the render settings to export your project into a specific format. Choosing custom allows you to select your own settings for an export, or or you can select from a few presets, such as YouTube or Vimeo presets. You can also choose the correct preset for any other formats, such as Final Cut, Adobe Premiere, or Pro Tools projects if need be. Now once you're ready to export, type in your video's file name, choose a destination and click Add to Render Queue. Select the job in the render queue and click Render. And that's it. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, press that like button, remember to subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.